Happy Tuesday. What's happening, Shredder Nation? Welcome to episode number 50 of Shred Your Body. I'm your host, Jesse James Jamnik. I can seriously not believe that we are already at week 50. The ER Shred as itself has already smashed through its anniversary. We just finished up our anniversary shred, and the results that are pouring in are just stupid, amazing. Those are going to be shared tomorrow night on our Wednesday call, which is our Shred Your Testimonial call. It is absolutely a jaw-dropping call every single week. It will make you cry. Bring some tissues. The stories are just so empowering. It just feels good. Like there's just a good feeling around it, like you're a good human to help other people, and to see all of these amazing people thriving and taking back control of their life. This is what it's all about. It's not about some stupid diet. It's not about prepping all your food. It's not about counting your asparagus. It's none of that BS whatsoever at all. It's literally about feeling better. And the byproduct of feeling good every day is looking good every day, is having the body that you want, and all the other amazing benefits that come with that. And my guest tonight, I'm so excited because we were just talking before the call, and man, we are going to dive into some deep stuff about the other things that doing something like the ER shred can help you do. Maybe that's shredding people. Maybe that's shredding limiting beliefs. Maybe that's just doing a complete 360 or 180 or whatever it is that you have to do in your life to get yourself back on track. And that's funny that I just used that word, because that to me is what the ER shred is. It's the tracks for you to run on. Just put your freaking train on the tracks and just follow. Just scoop the coal into the damn engine, and everything else is just going to go good for you. So like always, every single week, I'm pumped, I'm excited, but I'm really, really excited tonight because my mission, there is zero doubt in my mind that the ER shred is hands down one of the best damn health protocols that is out there on the market. And I can say that confidently after 20 years of using myself as a human freaking guinea pig, trying to figure out everything. And my guest tonight, I think, is pretty much on that same path with me, just based off of the little bit that we talked about. But I guarantee you she's tried everything, and we're going to dive into that. She's a badass mom of three. She takes no prisoners. She is not here to play some games. So she is like, check, right up my alley. Like, we can be friends for sure, because there is zero bullshit going on in this guy's life whatsoever. And I just love the fact that she just uses no excuses. But it wasn't there. She tried to play that little game with me. We're going to dive into that and kind of see how that transitioned. But without further ado, I just want to bring in my new friend, Miss Ann Woodson. What's up, Ann? Welcome to my call. Welcome to Shred Your Body.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here.
Yeah, I am excited that you are here, because my mission, obviously over the last year, for anybody that's been in our ER Shred community, is I can't fight with people anymore, right? Like, obviously it works. The results are mind blowing, whether you're 80 years old or you're a child. We've seen every transformation, but I got to be honest with you, Ann, I am on a mission now to educate more athletes and educate the younger generation. And I even say us as younger, like, we're not old by any means. Like, I'm only 42, but I'm talking like 20-year-olds. Like, I wish I knew this information when I was 20 years old, when I get started in this, because man, the thousands of dollars in struggle, right? And I know you can attest to that, of what it would have saved. So that's my mission. And I'm so happy that you're here sharing your story, because you did struggle, but you fought it out, and you got yourself to fat adaptation, and now you're thriving. And we'll definitely get to that point, but I'm super grateful that you're willing to share that, because that's really what I'm on my path for right now, is to bring those people in. Can you imagine if more athletes opened their mind and actually understood the raw power you get when you're fat adapted? Can you imagine what they'd be able to do?
Yeah, no, because it's 100% different than all the things that they tell you you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be pounding, drinks full of carbs and snacks full of carbs, and you're supposed to be eating these certain things before you go out. And it's 100% different. And I'm sure you'll talk them through this, but I fought you every step of the way. I was like, that won't work. That can't work. I can't do it. and it was hard at the beginning, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I remember you fighting me. It was fun. I like a good fight. I never back down from a good fight. So
I asked the same question 9 different ways until I still didn't get my answer. So
you still got the same answer for sure.
Right.
So let's do this. For people that don't know you, first of all, where are you originally from?
Okay. So I grew up in Southern Maryland, and then moved to Virginia with my husband. And then we also live at the beach in the summer, which is all kind of part of all of this. That as you clear out your life and get to baseline of what's important, you start to make different decisions.
For sure.
And so that became a non-negotiable for me. So being near the ocean, being active. And so, so we have 3 kids. 5, 11, 13, all very busy with sports things, lots of hours, commuting the kids around, but it's all stuff that, we enjoy and we like being really active together.
And I love that because here you stand right now, you're jacked, you're ripped, you're obviously a good athlete, you're a mom with 3 kids, 5 to 13 years old, who all play sports. Obviously, there's still mommy duties. There's grown-up duties. What I think Crystal calls it adulting. My girl still calls it adulting. We have to play the adulting game, right? So you have all that there. And as a health coach, I've heard every excuse in the book, right? Like, oh, my kids, oh, this, oh, that. Right. And yet here you are leading by example, you and your husband, super active, kids are all there, and yet still making it happen. So freaking kudos to you. That was really my.
And I'm just going to add things. I'm going to add one piece to that too.
Go for it.
Because, I've always been the team mom, the room mom for like literally every child, every sport. And I've always loved doing that. And with this protocol and the way that I feel now, like boundless energy, like it is not even, my husband says, like, does that stress you out? Does that stress you out? I'm like, not a lick. Keep it coming. You know what I mean? Like, it's so amazing to feel like you can just, and I sleep well, I rest my body when I need to rest it, but just to have the energy it doesn't stress me out to have, a parent coffee and then go into work and then do a workout. Like none of that stresses me. It flows because I have that right energy. I feel like my body's calibrated now.
Yeah. It feels awesome, right?
Yeah, it does. It's limitless. It's
drastic.
Insane. Yeah,
I know.
It's insane.
It's I can actually relate to that. Obviously, I just had a brand new baby.
Right.
With that, as you know, comes usually loads of extra stress, loads of, whatever. And it's crazy because I'm literally in such a calm place right now. Oh. And it's not just necessarily, I think the food's a piece of it, but I'm a holistic guy. So I think it's a lot of everything, right? It's the nutrition for sure. Cause I think that's the foundation, right? That's how I preach nutrition is nutrition's our foundation.
Right.
And with that foundation, if you have a rock ass solid foundation, like you and I both have right now, like bring it on, like throw the explosives, bring the wrecking ball, like, what else is going to happen? Like no big deal. Does that mean that it's easy? No. Does that mean that we don't have shitty days? Right. No. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just such a nice place mentally because we're not being attacked on the inside. You know what I mean? We're no longer struggling and fighting and worrying about sleep and digestion and everything else on top of it all. And that's where I think it's such a beautiful.
I hope this is okay with the disclaimer statement, but take inflammation.
Yeah.
Taking that out of my body as a factor changed my mood like that.
Yeah.
My kids are like, you're like summer mom, which is like the happier, nicer mom all the time now because
that's what they said to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's so awesome.
And it's because I don't feel any of that. Like there's nothing fighting in my body. Everything tracks. If something goes in that doesn't feel right, I know it immediately. So I just leave that out next time,
Yeah. Susan Rothman, right? My sister from the Mister. She's in the comments going crazy right now. She's loving the calibrated word you're using. She's loving this balance. She's putting boom emojis everywhere. So
she's seen my comments for a year. I'm sorry it took me a while, Susan. Here's her
last comment. Here's her last comment. Just a bunch of booms if you can see it on the screen. So let's do this. Tracy just asked a great question. I'm going to put it on the screen so I don't forget, but we're not going to answer it right now. We'll do it in a second. But take people, and you've been a person that's worked out your entire life, right? Did you grow up playing sports or how did you get into it?
So I did. I did track, tennis, soccer, and I actually cheered, which was a sport for 13 years. But it was mostly in college that I really started. I picked up running and doing a little bit more lifting. Definitely in my 20s when I was, working and hadn't gotten married, hadn't had a family yet. I got into more like running races, distance running. Didn't do enough of the weights until I hit probably my mid 30s. And then I was like, oh boy, I got to get on some progressive overload, build a little more lean muscle, because I was like a leaner running machine, but I didn't have a lot of the core and the other stuff. And I knew as I got older. So I'm 45 now.
I call those stick figure runners.
What?
Stick figure runners.
Yeah. And I'm genetically predisposed to never be a stick figure no matter what I did. Like I could cease eating today and never be a stick figure. Yeah. So I knew that my body was meant to be, muscle, right? But you feel like anyway, so I've always worked out though, 6 to 7 days a week, 3 pregnancies, ran up until the day I was having the kids, not in a psycho way, but that I just felt good. It wasn't about not gaining weight. It wasn't about, but I wanted my deliveries and my recoveries to go well. I wanted to feel strong. I mean, I rocked bikinis out on the beach with like my big old belly out there because that's how I felt right. It's how I felt right. Yeah. So it's funny because I don't know if you want me to get into this now, but when I started in January on my 11-day protocol, I struggled because I felt like at first, because I was, utilizing the traditional diet of 40% carbs and, all that stuff, especially before running, which there's nothing wrong with it if that's what works for your body. It did not resonate with my body. My body did not take to it. So I was, I would go out to run like 5 or 6 miles and I would get like 2.5 in and be like, I can't do it. I'm so weak. I'm so tired. So I would ask Jesse like 400 ways to Sunday. What else can I do? He's like, take an electrolyte, keep rolling. Right. It took time. It really took time for me. The electrolytes, I will say, and the salt really helped me a ton. Yeah. That sounds simple when you put it in the comments, but people will I bucked on doing it. And then you start doing it, you're like, oh, I'm actually fine. I'm fine. Right. And so that's what my work. So that was in January. And then over time I could run a little more. I think I put this in my post, but like I had gotten a little loose with letting a few things back in. So I was eating primarily, the shred approved foods, but I was adding in some foods and not paying attention as closely on what were culprits. And then I would have wine or a little more sugar here and there. And those don't serve my body. I mean, I used to be the person that did wineries on the weekends, like winery. Guess what? It makes my stomach churn right now to have wine. It just doesn't fit my body anymore. It's not that I don't see anything wrong with wine. So my diet now is eggs, chicken, turkey, steak, butter, and shakes. I mean, that's pretty much it. I do like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and then sweet potatoes. But I know what each of those do to my body. So depending on what my workout is the next day, I either use them or I don't. Yeah. The other sources, all fine. Steak, I'm a little bit on before like running a long distance, because for my body, it takes a little longer to move through. But it's funny because the day that I felt moved to post, I was at the beach by myself doing a training course. And I was like, I'm going to run this morning. And I thought I was going to run like 5 or 6 miles, and boom, 11 miles just popped out. And then a couple days ago, like I was like, I think I'm going to go running again, like 13 miles. And I don't feel like I've done half marathons. I don't feel like I've run 13 miles. I feel like I could have kept going if I didn't have.
Yeah. So you've noticed that. So one of the biggest things for me is because when, I was pretty much living this for quite some time, I was pretty close to it. However, I was pounding way more carbs because everything that I was taught, through the years of clinical nutrition and all that good stuff was like, you're an endurance athlete. You need all this energy. Yes. You need. And, and I just took it as it was, I took the advice because I thought it was right. Like it was in my clinical nutrition book. Why would it be wrong? And until I started asking questions about, well, wait a minute, like, who invented that in the first place?
Right.
Where did that come from? Why
Right.
did it come about?
Right.
How did it come about? And I started digging and digging
Yep.
and digging and digging. And
Right.
I love the fact that you're talking about things in a way where it's like, it's not because you can't have it. You
Right.
just realize that it doesn't serve you. And that's the place
Yep.
that I'm at. You know, people sometimes are like, oh, so you don't go out and have fun? I was like, what's your definition of fun?
Right.
Like, do you want to come climb a 16,000 footer with me? Because that's my
Right.
definition of fun. Like, do you
Right.
want to look at the world from way up there? Because it's a whole new world up there.
Right.
That's my kind of definition of fun. Like, if you
Right.
think pizza and getting drunk and throwing up on the sidewalk to wake up with a hangover the next day is fun, you and I have different definitions of fun. I'm sorry, we're not going to
Right.
align. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I love how you're talking about it in a way where it's like, this honestly makes me so happy. I'll be totally
Good.
real with you, because I don't want people to ever think of this as a diet. I don't want it to think as like, I can't have this, because you can have anything you want. You're a grown freaking adult. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I can suggest to you, and I want you to figure it out on your own, you know? And most times, Ann, you know, people that will come back for like after an 11-day shred and they crushed it, they're like, oh, like, we're going to reward ourselves. Can we do that? And I'm like, well, what? And they're like, well, can we go have a pizza? And I like actually encourage them. And I'm like, yes, please do.
Go try that.
And they come back to me the next day and they're like, never again.
Right.
Never again. And I'm like, why? What happened? And then it's like, you know, bloat, constipation, diarrhea, hives, didn't break. And I'm like, there you go. Now you understand that food's the most powerful legal drug. You realize that. Now choose wisely. You know what I mean? And know your consequences. So I love that we're getting into that. So let's talk a little bit before the shred. What was it like working out? What was your diet like? How was it managing that every single day, being a busy mom with sports and stuff? Like give me an example of what that looked like.
So I will say, I mean, most of the time, I ate healthy, right? Like not shred approved, but it was, you know, food that we always had was chicken, pork tenderloin, green vegetable of some sort, lots of salads, sweet potatoes, some rice, whole grain breads. So I would try to follow that like 40, 30, 30 of, you know, carbs.
Like macro breakdowns.
Yeah. Macro breakdown of percentage of calories from each thing. And, you know, I was just stuck. I was stuck at a weight no matter what I did, because again, I was working out, let's say 6 hours a week. And that's a mix of cardio plus boot camps, plus progressive overload lifting, doing all these things 6-7 hours a week, and then I would ratchet it up to 10 hours a week and still nothing was moving. I think for me, my body just thrives better with more fat and more protein in it. And it likes that. And when you were saying fun, like to me, the idea of fun is that I can put on clothes and feel comfortable in them and go out and have fun. And if I have one Tito's and soda and I'm like, woo, but I know that I can get up and run my 10 miles the next morning because that's what makes me happy. It's cutting away other people's BS of what their definition of fun is. And I did it for years where I was like, oh, everybody's going to sit around on a Friday night and drink wine at some mom's house. I'll go do that and then feel like butt tomorrow, pardon my word. But, you know, you don't have to go along with that. And if somebody brings the Costco chocolate cake, cool. Maybe I have a bite if I feel it, but it doesn't sound good right now. I'm not putting it in my body. And once you get down to that baseline feeling of like, I feel really good, I don't want to put garbage in that doesn't feel good to me. Could feel good to somebody else. Just doesn't work for me.
Now we use this word baseline. You keep saying that. And for people that aren't aware, you know, one of the magical places that we help people get to with the ER Shred protocol is this place called baseline. And what we mean by that is that you're literally putting in nothing into your body except raw, dense, bioavailable nutrition. You are giving your body what it's dying for, which is vitamins, minerals, and nutrients at that bioavailable level. And sadly, no matter how strict you are, no matter how clean you are, it is so hard to do that from our sad ass diet today. By the way, you can say ass on my show. You can say whatever you want on my show. You know, there's no censoring here. You know, it's so hard to do that. So it's like to figure out this way is so cool. Did you find it? I mean, were you prepping a lot of food? Did you used to like
I was,
cold food and bring it with you to practice and all that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, because my nutrition mattered to me, I like did not, I mean, I would always bring stuff. I did a lot of food prep, a lot of measuring, a lot of like pre-planning, pre-logging, and to be stuck when you're doing all of that is uber frustrating. Plus your groceries cost a lot more.
Yeah.
So I know people talk about the price of organic meat and grass-fed beef and everything, but trust me, when you're not buying like Cheez-Its and Triscuits and all the other things, again, nothing wrong with those foods, but for me, they don't serve my body. Your grocery bill is right where it needs to be. And the $5 stick of butter versus the $2 stick of butter is well worth it, right? Because it's just better butter. And that's,
I love it.
So that's what I was doing a lot of prep, or I would be like the person that, like, if we ended up at like a Chick-fil-A, I would try to get like the grilled chicken sandwich, but doesn't really taste like real chicken. You know what I mean? Like it was too much. It was too much hustle for really no results. And again, I never felt bad about myself. I knew I was strong. I knew I could work out. I knew I could push weight around. I knew I could run races, but the outside didn't match the inside and all the effort that I was putting in until I went baseline and then built back from there what worked for me. But I had to get that cleaned up.
So I think that's important for people to know. You didn't come here or start this because you were overweight or out of shape or whatever that, you know what I mean? Like that is not, and I know we have so many success stories of people losing, I mean, uber amounts of body fat now and keeping it off for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. And man, does that make me ecstatic, because clearly obsessive body weight is not healthy. It causes a lot of bad stuff inside the body. But for you, you weren't there. Like, you were an athlete. You've been an athlete just like me, which is what makes me so excited, because we weren't out of shape. Like, I'm still 5'9", or 5'8", whatever the hell I am, 5'8", 5'9". I'm still 190 pounds. I still have the same lines going in down my belly and across my arms and everything else. But I did that when I was eating carbs too. But the major difference was the focus, the sleep, the digestion, and really the recovery for me. You touched on that. My recovery, I mean, I can beat the living shit out of myself. I mean, hardcore. You know what I'm talking about. You work out like I do. I know you do. Hardcore to where you're just like dead. And like the next day, it's
depleted.
Like
100%. My word is depleted. You have to be depleted. Like totally absolutely depleted. Nothing left on the floor. And to be able to get up and do it the next day is bananas to me. Because that was not the way before. And I don't know why that is, but.
Well, so now you were doing that because now, did you ever go, did you go into the nutrition? Did you study nutrition? Did you do anything to that nature? Or were you going off of what you learned from other people and what you thought was right when you were doing it all that other way?
So I learned from like nutritionists. I did a couple of like clean eating detoxes, like 21 from nutritionists, worked with nutritionists, actually coach people on macros, which is very interesting for me, because I won't bring that up because it's not, it's not this, but what was interesting, and I think I posted one time in the ER Shred group, was I was eating the same calories and losing gobs of inches because my for people that do pay attention, you don't have to with the ER Shred, but for people that are dialed in on their macros, when I switched up my macronutrient breakdown to so much more protein and the good fat, and then lowered my carbs, my body responded like this, but the calories did not change. So people that are like, oh, a calorie is a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. Yes, you need to be in a deficit to lose body fat, but the quality is what holds on to your lean muscle. And I have lost weight years ago, just distance running and eating like low calories, but I did not retain my muscle. So building that back up took forever. And now that I'm in my mid 40s, I don't want to lose that lean muscle because I don't want to have to get it back again. So that was the beauty part of from August 10th until now, losing 20 some pounds, and just like it really came from mostly fat because I'm putting in the protein to hold on to my muscle. So it's to me, it's magic, honestly. I mean, but it's science at the same time.
It is. There's, we try not to be into all the science because it gets a little confusing for people.
For sure.
When I tell you that there is so much freaking peer-reviewed, published research around every concept of the ER shred,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the shakes to the cellular nutrient intermittent fasting to,
Yep.
doing it the 48-hour way, not the timed window way, because we miss so many amazing things like HGH production and
Right.
autophagy and insulin sensitivity if we're doing the window, because you
Right.
need it. That's based off time. You know what I mean? But with
Right.
that, the net protein utilization of the shakes with the incubation from Dr.
Yeah.
Marco Ruggiero, I mean, just
Yes.
everything is just so on point and dialed in. It's just really, really cool. So when you were eating the other way,
Right.
Granted, and I did this too. You still woke up, you still worked out, you still
Yep.
were doing your thing.
Right.
But what was the biggest things? Like if you were to pick out, say, like 2 or 3 things.
Okay.
What was
Digestion and
like
inflammation.
even though you were in shape,
Yep.
what would you say? Because I know you if your pinky's off, I know you can probably feel it, right? At this
Right,
point?
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you're in tune with your body. So what was off? Like what was off? Even
2
though
things. Got it. Got
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Digestion and inflammation. And the inflammation would make me sore. So if I ran over 7 miles, my knees would feel puffy.
Interesting.
And I think for me, that was because of the extra carbs. I don't know what I also, I know we don't get into like all the medical stuff, but I have PCOS.
Yep.
And so like could end up more on like the insulin resistant side of things. So for my body, again, I know that I am better served with a little bit less of that in my body. And all it takes is an experiment, right?
Yep.
So you take it out and the inflammation is gone. And the digestion, which messes with your recovery because you can't rest because you're either uncomfortably bloated. Like it's crazy bananas to me that like I go in my drawer and pull out pants and I never go like, again, it's not that my clothes never fit, but they would uncomfortably buckle over inflammation, right? Now it's like, oh, I just finished like a giant bowl of chicken and all this stuff upstairs and I change into shorts and I'm like, boop, you know what I mean? Because it's the food that my body can process in the way that it processes it. Feels great.
It does feel amazing. With digestion for me, it was crazy because, I was doing the same thing. My thing was a leaner protein. It was, massive amounts of vegetables, right? Literally half my plate. I mean, like some I used to eat, I never realized how much that binded me up.
Right.
Like I literally had problems going to the bathroom.
Right.
Even though I was considered the healthy guy. Like people would be like, oh, look at the muscle. It's not about the muscles. It's what's inside. It's the cellular. And that's the scary part, right? This is where it gets so hard in. This is where I know my mission I shared with you. I know this is not a battle. This is a war. I need to win little battles along the way because for athletes to have this realization, it's going to take an open mind. It's going to take the willingness to want to unlearn, to relearn, and get yourself in that place. And I think you had to go through that too. Like, so when you first came to the ER shred and you told me that you were peeping this since October, those are your words. You were peeping this since October, but yet you didn't jump in for months later because you looked at this and you said, wait a minute, red meat, butter, salt, like ew. And now you're eating like pounds of butter every day.
Literally, my daughter did a Mother's Day thing at at school. What's your mom's favorite food? Steak, right?
Yeah.
It is. And it took trying it. And from the athlete perspective, I did have a period where, it took me a while to go through that tunnel where my lifts were not as strong. I had to go down 10 pounds each dumbbell, but now I've far surpassed that. And I think it's the long-term view, which is why I felt so compelled to say, look, guys, I lurked from a year ago. I jumped in January, did a shred, got great shred results. And then I lived ER shred lifestyle most of the time until like the summer. And then I got a little loosey-goosey. And by August, again, and it's interesting because people will comment like you looked good in both pictures, which is honestly sometimes why I don't post pictures because I didn't feel bad about myself in one picture or the other.
Yeah.
And I wasn't chasing a weight either. Yeah. I just wanted to feel right. And then that stuff comes. Do you know how many years I spent trying to fit into smaller pants or to hit a scale weight, doing all the other things? And when it became not my focus, it just happens to where I was going out with my husband on a date night and I just kept pulling on jeans for the first time. It's like just fall now here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, nope. And it's bananas to me that I used to leave those jeans laying on my bed, waiting for the day I could get back into them. And it hasn't even occurred to me because it's not my focus. And then you just pull them out of the thing and you're like, oh, boom, the jeans, right? It's crazy because it wasn't my focus.
Yeah.
It was, I have the energy now to go run 13 miles today. Maybe tomorrow I'll run 9 miles. Maybe I'll go to this class at the gym. Maybe I'll do this extra workout. And for me to have that like energy because of this yielding those results is really what motivates me to want to say, try it, because it has come full circle to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So, and how many people focus on that, you know, and unfortunately, I think that it's not your fault. It's not their fault. I mean, we are pounded by billions of dollars of marketing every day, and especially women, you know what I mean? That is saying like, you know, your figure's this, your lips don't look good, you should use this. And everything's around image. And with us, like I've made it my mission to say, no, like that's the byproduct. Like you have to focus on feeling good every day. You have to love yourself. You have to feel good, sleep good, eat good, digest well. And the byproduct of that is all these amazing benefits that you're explaining. But unfortunately, 90% of people on this mission are doing it the reverse way. They're doing it because they want, you know, I'm going to go on a diet because I need my belly to get skinny. No. You need to go on. You need to get healthy because you deserve to be healthy. And when you're healthy, the byproduct is you lose weight.
Yeah. It builds from the inside out. Yeah. Fix the inside first. The outside's going to just follow behind.
Yeah, for sure. So when you came, you peeped on it. You said, whoa, wait a minute. This is completely different than everything that I've been taught. And you said you've paid for nutritionists. You've taken, you know, you did all those services like people. These are people that you're looking to because they were trained in these same books that I learned, right? These clinical nutrition books. And they're giving you information. It's not because they're doing it in a wrong way. That's just what's there. That's what's taught. And to me, that's the scariest damn part is that's what's being taught still today.
Yep, it is.
In the nutrition world and in the medical world too. It happens a lot with that too. And I'm just like, why is this stuff so outdated? Like, when are we going to get our shit together and break free from all of this stuff? So I'm loving that we're doing this. So you came, what was your first impression when you saw the meat and the butter and the eggs and like, what kind of took you so long? And then what finally made you say, okay, let's just try it.
Okay. So, and I remember this because I just kept in on it because I basically was invited to it from another isogenics group because I've been doing isogenics since 2018, the 30-day protocols, the 2 shakes a day, you know, off and on. And like I said, in our pre-chat, it worked for me for a while. And, you know, I'm a big fan of the cleanse days. I think those are great, you know, resets. And when I started looking at the ER shred, I was like, I just don't know that I can, like, I don't think I can put butter on everything. I don't think I can eat that much red meat. You know, I like it, but I just couldn't. And I'll tell you what made me switch over. So, you know, definitely during the holidays, I'm not one of those people that like packs on 10 pounds during the holidays. I always try to like eat pretty much what I'm going to eat, maybe a little bit more sweet potatoes, but like, I don't feel right if I've blown the doors off on the holidays. But I did know like, all right, like I could jump in on something in January. And I had done in the past one of the prepackaged like portioned food things, quick results. But the idea of eating that food again made my like stomach churn. And I was like, but wait a minute. Again, I'm like a scientist, right? So like, I'm like, let's try an experiment. I'm going to try the one that has real food. Let's just see. I already knew I loved the shakes. I thought the incubation thing was crazy too. I was like, so I'm going to kind of like let my, I was like, so I have to watch my shake, but I'm hungry. What is happening? And it's bubbling. And wait, I blended again. What's happening? So that was bananas to me until I did it. And I was like, oh, my body feels amazing after this shake. And that was cumulative too. So I don't know if you need to like go back and tell me about the incubated shakes so they don't know about that, but magic on a stick. I'm not even kidding. Like if you've ever had a problem with a whey protein shake or anything from bloating, gone, boom, boom. For me, game changer. Plus I could feel the protein. Like you feel it coming in. It's like right there. It's like straight in. Loved it. So But yeah, so for me, I had that choice to make. Like, what am I going to do in January? Right? Am I going to go for, cause I knew I wanted to lean down a little bit. Am I going to go for packaged food that doesn't really taste like food? Or am I going to try this one? Right? Cause I already have the shakes. I know I can do the cleanse days. It was an easier jumping off point, but it was, and my coach, in Isogenics is awesome. Great friend. She kept saying, well, you could just do the 30-day, just do like a 30-day protocol. Right. And then as I got to know more about this, I'm like, this sounds more fun. And just went all in. I think I tried it maybe in like November or December, like kind of dip my toe in, but I was trying to do it with like no fat. So I was trying to do like some white fish and some white chicken. Let me tell you what I do now to the chicken. When the chicken is cooked, I flip it over. I get the dark meat and the skin. That's what I want first. I don't, the chicken breast is lovely, but I want the fat. Like my body craves it, and it's working with that, I remember the first time I posted something about eating chicken skin, and Crystal Escobar was like, yes, you eat the skin. And I was like, oh my God, really? That's awesome. I know. I was jazzed. So that was kind of what did it for me, because I was like, well, you know what? It's 11 days. You can do anything for 11 days, but just go all in. Don't, and it's not, and it was, I think it was also the graphic that was like, you only need to come up with 7 meat meals. Cause people are like, how am I going to amass like all this meat? It's really 7 meat meals, right? Because you got your cleanse days, you got your shakes, like you're going to be fine. It's 14 meals, right? So, and I did it, and I dragged my husband along, and he was like, this is amazing. Cause he's a big meat eater anyway. He's like, wait, this is like something we're doing to get lean. And I'm like, oh yeah. So that was great, cause then we had each other. So
I love that. It's so crazy because it's so hard to grasp your mind around it. Because for so many years now, we've been taught the opposite, right? We were told that red meat causes heart disease and it causes heart attacks and it blocks our arteries, and fat is going to make us fat, and fat's going to make us sick. And, granted, if you're eating crappy saturated fat and processed packaged fat and, feedlot cattle that's just dirty and disgusting, like, that's not what we're talking about. But when you're putting in rocket fuel, which is good quality grass-fed, grass-finished beef. It's one of the most bioavailable, nutrient-dense foods on the face of this planet. Very, very few people have allergies to it. Very few people react bad to it. It's literally one of the best things. And it's crazy. I don't know if I've even ever shared this in our group, but do you know that the whole concept of when they taught us when they removed fat out of the diet and they came up with this whole theory back, I think it was like 60, 70 years ago, it was Dr. Ansel Keys, right? And he created this fake ass 7 world study. And at the time, the president was sick with the heart disease, and they needed to blame something. And literally, if you go back in history and you research not just the food that you put in your body, but you understand why we're where we're at today, and follow the money and follow the dirtiness, follow the corruptness and all the other bullshit, you'll get your answer. And that's what we're trying to do for people, is just strip all that crap away. I've done all that for you. Sean's done all that. Crystal's done all that. People like you have done all that. Like, just jump in and learn and figure it out for yourself. But, what you'll realize is that we've really been lied to for 60, 70 years. It absolutely pisses me off, because it's really made people so sick. I mean, when you look back and you can actually trace graphs of disease, and you look at where we were as a nation when fat was still a big part of our genes, and they started to say eat 6 to 10 servings of grains and only eat a little fat and eat the lean protein, not the fat protein. And when we did that, every major disease went through the roof. I mean, cardiopulmonary, autoimmune, ADHD, all these things that kids are on, peanut allergies went through the roof. Like, what is going on? Like, you have to stop and ask yourself at one point in time, what in the hell is going on? Like, seriously, what's going on?
Well, and it's, I think you hit it right there. And I always think, like, what's closest to nature, right? Like, that's what, that's what's going to work best in my body. Right. So even if I'm faced with, like, I had to go into work this morning, and I was between breakfast and lunch in the cafeteria thing, and I didn't have my food with me. And they had like a salad bar that was like going to be open. Right. So they had hard-boiled eggs. They had chicken breast that had been grilled and cut up. And I was like, this is the best I'm going to get right now.
Yep.
And I ate that. It was that or like a power bar. And I'm like, okay, power bar, used to live on them. Used to be like great source of nutrition. Jacked my stomach up for days. Did not serve me. So like, I think to me, it's what's closest to nature. And, you know, no matter what the stuff is, it's driven by money. I mean, they get to take something that costs them nothing to make, package it up and sell it for a 4 billion % profit. Whereas getting like a grass-fed cow and cutting it into pieces, they're going to sell it for a little margin, but it's not, they can't charge 10 times what it costs them to raise the cow. They can't.
Exactly.
Nobody would pay it. Everybody's already complaining about the price of beef right now, right? Everybody's joking about it, but it's expensive. But guess what? You know, like what's more expensive, your health or, you know, the package? You pay for it one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I mean, is it more expensive to spend a little bit now, or do you spend what you saved, quote unquote, later in life when you don't have a quality of life and now you're taking all that money and you're spending it on sick care?
Right.
Because you need help.
It just shifts. There's no, there's no like free lunch, right? Like it just shifts. Yeah. No. And you get to feel, if you do it this way, you get to feel better now instead of feeling like crap. So it's a nice trade-off. Yeah.
And you have a family of 5. I do. You shared something with me. You ate all that way before. Your entire family ate that way. Now you shared with me that literally your kids are following you and your husband. Your kids are adopting more to this lifestyle.
They do.
When it comes to grocery bills, there's a big misconception out there that eating healthy is expensive. What have you noticed from a family of 5? I mean, I'm sure you probably do most of the grocery shopping in your house.
I do,
What have you noticed with the grocery bill? Is it bigger? Is it smaller? Where are you guys at?
So I would say when you take out all the crappy snack foods, which are cheaper per box or whatever, I would say we spend a little bit more on the meat. We do Butcher Box. I'm not an affiliate or anything for it, but we do that because we know that it's good quality meat coming in and we eat a lot of meat. I mean, my kids, like if you ask all my kids now, what's your favorite food? Steak, right? And that comes directly from we buy good meat and we serve them good meat. They all love ribeye. Ribeye is their jam. The more fat, the better. Now we do not sandwich it in like Texas toast, right? With like, you know, some Velveeta on it. Like they eat steak, right? And then they eat some broccoli. Now, if they go get some ice cream later, go for it, right? They're gonna go run around the yard. But that for our grocery bill, I would say it's probably held steady, but the quality of food is better. And it definitely is easier to pre-shop or order online ahead of time. There are no like, we're going to grab this and that. And they know my 13-year-old plays lacrosse. He plays basketball too, but lacrosse is a big thing. He knows, Mom, I don't want sugar. I don't want sugar today. He gets water every time we're eating out. He's like, I don't perform. I can't perform with that in my stomach. Now, the 5-year-old, if faced with a cupcake, right, she's going for it.
She's going for it.
Right. Now, she'll eat 2 bites and then say, I'm done, right? Because her body isn't titrated for that amount of sugar. But she's going to, it's a pink cupcake with like rainbows shooting out of it. She's going for it.
Of course.
The middle one is struggling with it. Like he's back and forth. Like he knows he wants to be more of an athlete. But like I was telling you before, they always know the protein goes in first. It's always just what goes in first. And they know it's what fuels them. They know it's what holds on to their muscle, helps them build it, helps them feel strong in their workouts. So it's cool to see. I mean, they're both, you know, my kids 11 and 13 are working with a trainer. Like they want to lift, they want to do speed and agility. I mean, they are in it because they see us do it. So it makes them, we don't say they have to do that. That's what they want to do. Because they want to be better athletes.
I love, you know, I'm glad you just brought that up because I was going to ask you that. You mentioned to me, you said, my kids literally ask me if they can come for a run with me. I've never told them that they have to go for a run.
Oh, never.
Now they're asking me.
I like my me time, but.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, but I take
just think that's so cool because we have the ability to, I mean, our kids watch everything, obviously, right? Like
Yep.
they want to be like mom and dad. They
Right.
really do. As much as they pretend to hate us sometimes, like they really
Right.
want to be like mom and dad. And
Yeah.
if we're setting that example and we're doing that for them, but we're
Right.
not pushing it on them,
Right.
just like we don't push this on any of you,
Right.
You come to the conclusion yourself.
Right.
You realize that when I eat this food, it makes me feel good. And I'm
Right.
happy. Like my daughter's 11 and she's the same way. If there's a cupcake,
Yep.
she's going to eat the cupcake. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
she also knows that there's sometimes foods and all the times foods. Now,
Yeah.
granted, my ex-wife, I have an ex-wife, so
Right.
you know that's a little difficult because we see
Right.
differently. But when
Right.
she's with me, over the years, I've started to see her like now she's in training for black belt, and
Oh,
it's
that's
more
awesome.
intense physical exercise. And she's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Dad, I need that hydrate drink. I don't want to
Yeah.
drink this crap." You know, and I'm like, "Okay,
Right.
I'll send it to you." And
Right.
you know what I mean? Like she would drink a shake. She would live on shakes if her mom
Yeah.
would let her, but I have to kind of fight that process. You know what I mean? So, but I love that we get that opportunity.
Yes.
And you know, for people that are out there struggling with their kids, and I mean,
Yep.
what advice? Like, I guess the best advice would just be lead by example, right? Like
I
they're
think
going
it's
to
just
eventually
model. I think
follow.
I mean, again, and I am so far from a perfect mom, but I will tell you, it is modeling it. Like they see, like I hosted a birthday party for my husband at a winery, and I did not want wine,
Yep.
right? And my older son said, "Mom, you're not having wine," and I said, "Yeah, it's not going to make my body feel great, and I've got a big
Right.
workout tomorrow, right?" And they notice these things and they pick up on that. They know that like they know that like I don't enjoy certain things. Now, a wild and crazy treat for me is a handful of almonds dredged in like chocolate hummus. Like
Yeah.
that's like woo over here. Not because I restrict it. That's what actually sounds good to me.
Sure.
I don't, and so I would say if you're struggling with your kids is, the all the time and some of the time foods, that's a great thing. And for me, it's always put the protein in first. The protein goes in first and then come with the noise that you're asking me for, whatever's over there. Even if let's say we're at a stadium, right? And I want cotton candy or I want popcorn. I'm like, go find a chicken tender. I don't know. Just go find something that has a protein in it. And we're going to start there. Cheese.
Yep.
We stop at the rest stop. The kids know not to come with a bag the Cheez-Its aren't happening until you've eaten a string cheese, a pepperoni stick. Like it happens. And they know because they also now know how they feel after they've had the other things. And I think that it's that awareness and saying like, I don't say it's bad or good, or it makes mommy fat or it makes mommy skinny. It's just, this is what tastes good to me. And this is what makes my body feel strong. And the kids are noticing, they're like, how many miles did you run this morning? And, I told you I picked up surfing.
Yeah.
And when I first started surfing, I realized that I just felt like I didn't have, I didn't know that I wasn't as lean, but I just had extra on me. And I'm still not great at it, but I definitely know that my body composition now is much easier to get up and maneuver aboard because I'm in control of all my pieces. They're all they're all functioning together without the inflammation and the bloating and the, all the extra. So
that's so cool.
But they're like, Mom, that's so cool. You're like 45, you're surfing. And I'm like, well, you got to do stuff you're scared of, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love, I think the most brilliant point is that if people are struggling with kids, it's, be careful with your words. Really be careful.
My kids will never hear. No.
The response that you gave when your child, I forgot who you said asked, but they said, Mom, you're not having wine. You said, well, it's just not going to make mommy feel good. It's not about like, oh, mommy can't have that because she's on a diet, or mommy can't do that because it's not about mommy can't do. It's that mommy chooses not to do because it doesn't serve me.
Right.
And I think that's a beautiful way to teach.
Always. That's always my narrative because we do have a choice. And I think that that's one of the nice things about living in this community for the last year, is that you realize that you can do anything you want, right?
Yeah.
You might not get the results that you want if you do it, too wild and crazy, but you're welcome to experiment, right? And I definitely pressed some buttons and tried some things.
Yeah.
I was one of the ones that was like, but you're taking my vegetables, right? But for 11 days. And then I figured out, I used to probably have Brussels sprouts with balsamic drizzle and bacon on them, 4 nights a week. And then I realized, okay, those jack me up. After I got down to baseline, did not have them for the 11-day protocol. And then when I reintroduced them, I think I held back for a couple of weeks on them because I was scared that they were going to be bad. And I know now what they do to me. And it's not like, again, I'm not laid up in a hospital, but my
Right.
body's not going to feel like tip top the next day. So I
Mhm.
just do it every now and again. If I go to a
Right.
restaurant and they've got an amazing Brussels sprout on the menu, I just think through like, all right, let's try them. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works,
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't, but that's freedom and it's a choice.
Mm.
I don't feel hemmed in at all.
Yeah.
I just feel good that I know what works for me.
Yeah. And that word freedom, do you feel this way versus the old way? Do you feel much more free?
100%. Yeah. I feel like completely free and empowered because I know what it takes work to figure out what works for your body. And then once
Yeah.
you kind of lock that in,
Yeah.
I'm free to kind of like honestly live and eat and exercise the way that feels good for me, not the way anybody else has told me to do it or what they think I should do. Because I feel like I feel good.
Yeah.
So the decisions I'm making are obviously working for me.
Mm.
And I think that that's really empowering, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think it's beautiful. Listen, I told you this goes by really fast, and now I have so much more information that I need to get out of you in such a short period of time. But let's do this. I get athletes that ask me all the time, Jesse, like, they're in this, they're trying to take it for like 11 days, and they think that 11 days is going to magically flip them.
Right.
Please, we're honest around here.
Yep.
Share with people what it was like your first couple months shifting your body from being a carb monster to becoming this fat adapted warrior princess now. Like what was that process like? Because you hounded me.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So the first 3 weeks, I don't even know during the 11-day, I think I went out and tried to give it a whirl with a couple of these runs. And after 2.5 miles, which to me was like not even worth putting the shoes on, I would kind of like mini bonk. And I was like, okay, this isn't going to work for me because I thought this will never get better. Right. But then I was like, Anne, give it time. Your body is repairing all the stuff inside. So maybe just pump the brakes on the workout, which again, all the way through pregnancy, 6-7 days a week. So for me to give up workouts was hard, but I had to like let the body rest and repair.
What I need to interrupt you real quick because I that is so key, right? So I was like, when athletes ask me, is it worth it? I go, well, are you willing to do the work?
Right.
Because if you're willing to do the work, yes, it's 100% worth it. If you're not willing to go through the shit first to get to the golden arch, you know what I mean? At the end, like it's not gonna happen. Like,
and I can probably search the group. I think that like I asked you 10 different times how long it was going to take because I was so antsy about it. I would say maybe it took me a little over 2 months, 2 to 3 months if I'm really honest.
Really feel like back to
like I was like back to like hitting my regular workouts. And then it took me really dialing it back in from August to now to be like superpower, like literally limitless is the only word that I have. Like I'm not going to, but I feel like I could do 4 workouts a day right now with the energy that I have and the way that I recover so quickly and just how my body's functioning on the nutrition that I'm using. So to me, but it didn't take that whole year. I really kind of was treading water in that middle state for a while, but still functioning fine. I was back to my regular weights. I was back to my regular pace. So I hope that helps.
But what you mean by that is like, you were still working out. Like, well, first of all, how did you give yourself the permission to allow yourself not to work out? Because I, like you, I work out 6 days a week. My Crystal is struggling with this now because her and I are both ultra marathon runners. She's been an athlete her entire life. Obviously having a baby completely flips your world upside down. You can't work out. I mean, she did work out, but you know what I mean? Like you can't go to that level and you know what I'm talking about. So hard. For her, it's a struggle. But like as an athlete, what allowed you to give yourself that permission to say, okay, I'm not going to die by not working out? Because I know so many athletes think that if they don't work out, it's like game over.
Well, right. And so I felt like that. And I think that's why I was kind of like soft footing it before I did the real shred in January. I kind of soft footed it in like November or December, whenever I did like my mini, all chicken with no fat shred, which didn't really work. But I remember thinking, and this is what went through my mind, is what you've been doing has not worked. You are working out, you are performing. It is not working. So try something else for 11 days. Just try it. And I was like, well, again, rule bender over here. I thought, well, I'll eat shred, but I'll just still work out exactly the same and I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Even though I had been cautioned otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
and, but then I was into it and I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is maybe what my body's telling me needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you did not get results doing the thing you were doing. So why don't you try this and give it the good college try? And what's the worst that happens? You gain weight, not going to gain weight on a shred.
Right.
I mean, so I did not gain weight. I lost weight and then I had to build from there. But I think it was so many years of doing all the things, eating the way and training the way I was taught and not getting the results that I wanted that allowed me to let go of that and try something new.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So the biggest tip, if I'm hearing from you as an athlete, is you got to ask yourself the hard question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is what you're doing getting you the results that you deserve or want?
Right.
And if it's not, are you willing to open your mind to learn and possibly try a different way?
Yeah, I think that sums it up. I mean, yeah, and try a different way. And it might mean that you have to slow down to speed up just a little bit, you know?
Yes. So now let's talk about that. So you I call that pulling back the slingshot, right? You have to pull back the slingshot to gain that tension and momentum. And you can pull until you get the force that you want. And then all of a sudden, boom, you can let go. Is that kind of like what happened? Like as you started to come into that shift, like you started to feel that. And then all of a sudden, it's a lot easier to get your mind wrapped around it because you're like, well, wait a minute. What things did you start to notice first that kind of kept you motivated?
So I think it was the lack of like soreness and inflammation, like after hard workouts, and my recovery was much quicker. Yep. I felt like once I nailed down the hydration piece with just not, like with adding in the, the hydrate and making sure I had electrolytes, like that helped me a lot. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Once for me, I'm like such a data-driven person. Once I could like perform where I was or better, I was like, I'm good, and I knew that in that middle period, that's why I asked the question probably 60 times in the group. If you search it, like I kept asking because I knew if somebody had walked before me, it was around the corner somewhere. Right. Yeah. And I was already into it. Yeah. So I might as well like see. Yeah. And then when I started feeling good, I was like, okay, I got this. Like I can do it. But it takes time. It takes a little time, but it's worth it because now I'm a totally different athlete. Totally different.
So you just said it, but you think that without a shadow of a doubt and zero question in your mind, it was absolutely worth the 2-month struggle.
For sure. Oh
in the middle there, even though you went backwards.
Yeah. Cause if you take like, all right, so let's say I've been working out like that for like 25 years. So 25 years times all those months, like the 2-month investment to get to where I am now, wildly worth it because I did all those other months without getting to where I am now. So it's lots of years, lots of months. And I think I had to allow myself to think like, maybe I'm going to try it a different way. It sounds bananas. And then you get into it and you're like, oh, and I remember, this actually, I can think of another thing that I remember. I remember the first few times that I realized I was not tired or didn't feel fatigued from a lack of carbs because to my body, I'm not saying everybody's, but my body, carbs are like, boom, like it goes in, makes me almost like dizzy, euphoric. Like I've got the energy. It's like, boom, out of the gate. Right. This is a different kind of energy, but it's always present in my body. It does not come and then leave and then come and then leave. It's just here. So like, that's why sometimes I'll like get back from like 8 miles and my husband's like, why are you still bouncing around the kitchen right now? And I'm like, because I feel good. I don't know. Yeah. I don't feel depleted because I didn't put like something in that got burned off and now I'm flat again. It's just there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we're not sucking down packets of gel, AKA sugar, or, eating Sour Patch Kids in the middle of the run. Or,
I'm telling my kids no candy as I suck down like a syrup packet.
You know what I mean?
Delicious. Yeah.
It's crazy. The stuff that I think that I used to put in my body is just absolutely insane. But
I used to tape the goos around my belt. Oh boy. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now it's funny because I found these little things called fat bombs, which is like macadamia nut butter with like full of oil. And they're literally the size of a gel pack. So that's literally what I take on my long runs.
Really good. Sounds really good.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Now I'm hungry.
Amazing. They're amazing. What else can I do? What else have I not touched on? Like, let's wrap this up. What other?
Yeah,
What
no,
other
I think for me, that's it. It's just the long game is worth it.
Okay.
For me, there was a little discomfort at the beginning just because I wanted both. I wanted to lean down and I wanted to be fat adaptive without walking through the tunnel. And I just wanted it both.
Yeah.
And it's just for me, go ahead and try, like do the 11-day and then go try if you want to add things that may or may not serve you, because I know that I ended up right back where I needed to be. And I know exactly the 8 or 9 foods that really, trip my fancy.
Yep.
And the ones that don't, I just don't have interest in them. It's not that I can't have them. They're all upstairs. If anybody needs them, they're up there. There's foods that serve different people in my family different ways. But if they don't serve me, I'm down to just walk past them. They don't even call to me, which is bananas too, because when I was a little carb monster and I was trying to do all this working out, a little carb monster, somebody left some cookies out. I was like, that's a good source of fuel for tomorrow. Boom. Now I'm like, it's just, again, nothing wrong with a cookie. A cookie is fine. It doesn't make me excited right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. It's just you are fully in the driver's seat here to get to a place where you know what works for your body by using this protocol was what worked for me. Because you have to strip it all away and put the right stuff in. So your body wasn't, because you can go down to nothing, but not with nutrients, and your body will want to absorb anything when you open the floodgates again. Right. But with providing like good quality beef, the shakes, all that stuff, my body wasn't like dying at the end of the 11 days where I was like, all the food, right? So then you make better choices, I think, too, because you're putting stuff in.
Yeah, I love that. So you just basically said like you're not deprived, you weren't starved, you didn't have nothing to that nature whatsoever.
No.
Just more allowing the shift to happen from your body used to utilizing carbs as energy to now understanding that, oh, wait a minute, 90% of my body is actually designed to function off of fat. And when I give it that, it's euphoric. It's like a euphoric feeling.
It really is.
It's hard to describe. It really is.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see to eat it and then realize that you don't feel crappy after it, because the tablespoon of butter is not on a big brioche bowl, roll, which to my body again does not work. So it works the way it should.
Yeah. It's crazy, Ann, the amount of food that I eat that I don't feel like if you looked at my plate, it's so much food.
I've seen your plates.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like people are like, how do you eat that much? I'm like, I don't know. I just eat it. And the crazy thing is like,
your body uses it though. I think that's the difference.
I used to feel so bloated. Crystal would yell at me all the time. She's like, why do you do that to yourself? I'm like, I don't know. And that's like after I ate a burger and fries or like all these carbs, because I had to hit my calories. You know what I mean? Like I needed my muscle and my endurance. So I had to hit those numbers or else I would be a stick figure. So I had to eat it, but I felt so bad. And I didn't have a good answer. Like I didn't have a good answer. So listen, this has been seriously one of my favorites. I love the information that we dove into. I really want to keep going. I hope you'll come back on later on down the road, because I feel like, you're a walking, talking example of what's possible. So I'm so appreciative of you coming on here and sharing. I'm very appreciative of your time. I know you're super busy, but for you to share those tips about you, the children, the value that you brought. I mean, I really hope people got as much out of this as I did. There are so many nuggets in here. Go back and listen. So thank you. Seriously, thank you.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
To the community. Thank you for showing up all like you do. The people that we can inspire is just endless. So it's just so awesome. So guys, every single Tuesday night, another story. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, shred your testimonials. Come into our group. It's absolutely free. I think we got 23.5 thousand people right now in that group. I want to double it. I want to triple it. I want to quadruple it for the only purpose of you deserve to feel freaking amazing. Like what Ann is feeling right now as super mom, you all deserve that feeling. Whether you're super mom or super dad or super grandma or super grandpa, I don't care what you are. You all deserve to feel freaking super. And you start with your health. Your health is your foundation. Your health is your greatest freaking wealth. And then on Thursday, we obviously have our Share Your Shred with our other ER Shred ambassador, Mr. Bob Sivright. So thank you all again for your time, and thank you again. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.